Biggest winner in the Dow today was Chevron, and Intel was the biggest loser. In the S&P, Cimarex Energy was the biggest winner, with Biogen being the biggest loser. Mike Santoli, start with you. What's your assessment of today's action?
The market has this little pattern going, which is that the rest of the world's in a bad mood. Our market's kind of marked down lower starting in the morning, and then just this kind of slow grind of buying. NASDAQ was up all day. Small caps were up all day. You can talk about that as a trade story. You can talk about it how the rest of the world growth has softened up more than the U.S. has. But I think in general, we're stalled out here and pausing in this rally, but really there's not a lot of selling pressure so far. I still don't think it feels like a market that wants to run away on a kind of wholesale level, but you have to say it's fairly constructive how we've closed the past two sessions.
Nancy, do you agree? I mean, the constructive tone, even though we did see markets a little lower, the S&P is not down by too much at the close.
No, I'm thrilled given the rhetoric. I think we had a great earnings season. We've had contraction in multiples, clearly. But I think even with slowing growth, and we've talked about that frequently, I do think that we're well poised to have a good high single-digit, low double-digit year in the S&P. So I'm really happy with today.
You like this deal that Google did with JD.com?
Love it.
Why?
Love it. Because they've been out of China, and this gives them an opportunity to get back in. It also gives them the platform from a retail standpoint, Michelle. So I think, we've been trimming the stock due to valuation. It's still one of our largest holdings. This gives me a lot of hope that management is thinking the right way about how to expand globally.
Mark, clearly tech outperformed again today. Is that something that can continue more broadly?
I think so. We've seen, obviously, they've been some of the best performers the last 6 weeks. We also have seen the IPO market explode. We had that big IPO for Avalara last week. There's several IPOs that launched this week. I think portfolio managers want more supply, and obviously there's definitely stocks that have worked, and I think they will continue to work when we see the second quarter reported next month.
We were talking during the break. You highlighted there are 6 to 7 biotech IPOs coming this week. Can the market absorb that many biotech IPOs?
We'll see. I mean, that is a lot. In fact, I had lunch with a portfolio manager on Friday, and he said, you got to slow down. This is too much product right in front of me today. I can't keep up. So we're going to learn a lot before the end of June, whether the street wants that many deals. But obviously, some of the numbers have worked great. We saw a big deal last month in a company called Madrigal, where the stock went up over 200% intraday. So we'll see the kind of supply they have. But when stocks are working, they want more.
Mike, got to squeeze them in before the end of June, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of the feel. But what's interesting to me is we ask these questions now. Can the market handle this run of IPOs? We have one indication or a couple of indications that there might be an LBO out in the offing with the GameStop moving today. I mean, that's what bull markets feel like, and that's the news headlines you see in bull markets. But I think we're somehow not used to that part of it, that capital market side.
And I will also say, relative to what we saw in the 90s and early 2000s, this is nothing. This is nothing.
Right.
What about M&A? Are we going to see that pick up as well? Because clearly a massive deal last week.
Absolutely, and we had a deal that was on the road, and they launched their, Workday bought them in the middle of the roadshow, which did not make my banker very happy in the middle of the roadshow. But that's going to continue to happen as well, because there is that kind of demand where these big companies need to do these bolt-on acquisitions.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.